Breaking news out of the NFL this morning. Raiders and Browns game, part of a doubleheader. Nick Mullens will get the start at quarterback for Cleveland after Baker Mayfield and Keenum failed to clear COVID-19 protocols Monday morning. It's the latest from our senior NFL reporter, Jonathan Jones. Mayfield landed on the list last week. Keenum soon followed, leaving the third stringer Mullens as the option, with the Browns fighting for a playoff spot. Getting back guard, though, Wyatt Teller and safety John Johnson, but still leaves more than 20 players on the COVID-19 reserve list. This was a game originally scheduled for Saturday, pushed back a few days due to the COVID-19 issues, not only within the Cleveland program, but also other ones across the league. And I can tell you, as of this morning, that line was Cleveland laying 3 points. But as of this news that is off the board at Caesars Sportsbook, that total was sitting at about 41.5. I've got Dave Richards with me here, our senior fantasy analyst. So, Dave, what are your thoughts here on the Nick Mullens news now that Baker Mayfield and Keenum are not going to be able to go?
I don't have a high level of confidence in this Browns passing game to put up huge numbers. I think they're going to try and just keep it conservative and lean on Nick Chubb as much as they can with a little bit of Dearness Johnson on the side. Remember, no Kareem Hunt. Couple of issues in play. Number one, I'm glad that Wyatt Teller's back, but there's still 2/5 of that offensive line missing, the starting offensive line missing for the Cleveland Browns. And number two, Jarvis Landry not expected to play. He's also, I believe, on the COVID list. So there are still some issues in play that make me nervous about Nick Mullens. He has 16 starts in his career. Only 6 of those 16 starts did he have multiple passing touchdowns. He's kind of fun to watch, but he's not necessarily somebody that fantasy managers should trust. Even in DFS play, I wouldn't put him in the captain spot for the game, or if you're using a 2-game slate, I'd probably go in a different direction than quarterback. Probably go with somebody like Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields in the Monday night game.
Okay, I'm glad you gave me some options, because that's where I was going. And again, those that are familiar with the San Francisco 49ers, that was where Nick Mullens had 8 starts, 2 different seasons. A lot of that with Jimmy Garoppolo stick as well. Again, what do you see out of him? He's more of a system guy, so it's going to be a tough play when you're going to fantasy playoffs for a lot of people.
He's not just a system guy, Tom. He's a system guy that's barely been with the Browns. So it's definitely not exactly the right type of scenario for him to come in and put up huge numbers right away. The receiving core, you're down to Donovan Peoples-Jones and David Njoku as his top 2 targets. I think Njoku could be okay. That's someone that I wouldn't mind taking a chance on in DFS. And I think a lot of people are going to gravitate toward Peoples-Jones because they've seen these highlight plays from him. And he is a deep shot type of receiver, but he's not a burner. Every single one of these deep throws that he gets turns into a contested catch because he's not fast enough to separate from the defender covering him. Now, he can win some of them, but his catch rate in his last 4 games is below 50%. I can't imagine it's going to be higher with Nick Mullens under center.
Finish with this, playoff implications for both teams playing in tonight's game, but obviously from a Cleveland perspective, taking a look at the Bengals and Ravens and them, the fight with the Steelers, what do you think this news does for Cleveland?
I think it hurts their chances to win the game, and certainly they want to be able to stay competitive in the AFC North. We debate every week about which team is the best team that's going to come out of the AFC North, and I just can't help but feel like it's going to come down to Week 18, and that's going to be 2 divisional matchups with these teams. It's going to be incredible to see who ends up being on top. If I had to take a stab on who it would be, I mean, I kind of feel like the Steelers are left for dead every week, and then they find a way to stay competitive.
All right.
So I might go with them, and I think their schedule might be the easiest of the 4.
Big cluster of teams. Really only 3 franchises have been eliminated from playoff contention in the AFC. Still a lot to do, again, with the Cleveland-Las Vegas matchup. Dave, certainly appreciate it. Do not go anywhere. Want to remind you about the Pick 6 podcast. Host Will Brinson of the Super Friends, Ryan Wilson, and John Breach will be talking about that during the Pick 6 podcast. Dave, I'm sure we'll be talking about it on FFT with Jamie, Adam Azer, and the whole gang.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.